Daily quests are repeatable quests that can be done over and over again under certain circumstances, and most of them being a daily occurrence of just talking to a particular quest giver. So in this list, we'll be going over some of the achievements tied to this activity, which were rather annoying for whatever reason, mainly RNG. And at number 10, we have the achievement, the Glop family line. This achievement comes from completing the daily quest Glop, son of Glop, 10 times on a single character. The daily quest was added in Cataclysm and can be obtained from the NPC rubric at Tharizdun's throne in Deepholm. This quest is pretty straightforward and requires the player to kill Fungalmancer Glop, a stone trog who grows poisonous mushrooms. The achievement itself relies purely on RNG because the quest has a random chance to spawn daily, which means you might have to wait several days just to get it done a single time. So having to do it 10 times makes it even worse. Players must also be revered with Tharizdun just to get the quest, but a lot of Tharizdun rep can be gained by just doing the daily quest in Deepholm. Additionally, this quest is just a daily version of the leveling quest Wrath of the Fungalmancer, so it's not even a unique quest. The achievement title itself is a little meta, as each time you kill Glop, one of his sons, also named Glop, replaces him, and thus there is always a Glop to kill in the family line. The name of this quest is likely a reference to one of Terry Pratchett's characters from his Discworld series of novels, named Glod Glodson, son of Glod. However, the NPC does not share any of the characteristics with his namesake other than the naming convention. There is actually also another achievement named Fungalophobia, which can be earned during this quest by simply killing Glop without taking any damage from his boom shrooms. And this achievement is much easier than the Glop family line at max level, since you can one-shot him if you're fast enough. And at number 9, we have Bombs Away from the daily quest Fires over Sketis. This achievement itself is simple, just complete the quest in under 2 minutes and 15 seconds. This TBC daily is located in the Terracar Forest and has players hurling bombs at Arakoa bird eggs. The daily quest is obtained from Sky Sergeant Thorn, who gives you Sky Guard blasting charges. Players must use these bombs on multiple clusters of eggs as the most efficient way to complete the quest. The main obstacle to this achievement is just the time and setup needed to complete it. While 135 seconds for the entirety of the quest sounds like a fairly long amount of time, in actuality, this quest can be so tedious and frustrating that the time limit can be a very big problem. The area the quest takes place in is quite large. It's a valley filled with trees with a big lake in the middle, and it takes over a minute just to fly around the area. To make matters worse, the eggs that must be blown up by the bomb spawn randomly. Players must also make sure not to be accidentally dismounted off of their mounts by getting hit by the pretty powerful common birds that can be found flying around the area, attacking anyone who gets close to the eggs. And maybe even die if you do, and get in combat or the runtime is forfeit. There is some good news. Luckily, the quest can be abandoned and reacquired as many times as one wants. This means the best strategy to get this achievement is log on in the middle of the night when there's no one there, then bomb out of the way eggs to make them respawn in a more linear and manageable manner. That way, on the next run, after you abandon and reacquire the quest, you can cut down on both the distance needed to travel and to hit multiple egg clusters to save time. The achievement really isn't too hard, but requires a lot of commitment, patience, and a lot of luck. And at number 8, we have the achievement Rock Lover, which can be obtained by completing the daily quest Lost in the Deeps 10 times. This daily quest has the player rescue a cute little rock elemental named Pebble. This daily quest can be obtained from the NPC Prite Stone Tender and is found in Tharizdun's throne and Deepholm from the Cataclysm expansion. There are 2 main obstacles to this achievement. Firstly, the quest has a low chance to spawn daily. Secondly, the daily quest itself can be kind of a pain, as it's an escort quest which requires the players to go into the crumbling depths, navigate a maze of tunnels, and avoid a large rock borer that can daze you and resets your position to the entrance of the cavern. The player must escort Pebbles out of the labyrinth caverns and past the borer with precision timing, or else you might have to start the escort back from the beginning if it despawns, which used to happen a lot back in the day. But nowadays, with the improved Guardian Pet AI, it's much less of an issue, and the hardest part of the achievement is just waiting for it to spawn. Once you complete the achievement, you'll be awarded the Pebbles pet as a reward. However, as a testament to how few people have done this daily achievement, Pebbles is still considered a very rare pet to the few players who own it, even though it came out over 10 years ago. And at number 7, we have a 3-way tie. These 3 achievements are entitled Friend of Bloop, Friend of Ooze, and Friend of Plaguey, which were added in 9.1 in Korthia in the Shadowlands expansion. Each achievement requires the player to complete the daily quest, Oozing with Character. The achievement is awarded when the player has completed the daily quest for a particular slime for a total of 10 times on a single character. What makes these achievements so difficult is that the daily quest in Korthia spawn randomly each day, and in addition to that, there is only a 1/3 chance that the correct slime quest will be up that you need. Also, the daily quests themselves can be a bit tedious. Bloop requires you to inflict shard hides and then kill them to replicate itself. Plaguey requires you to infect weakened shard hides, not kill, weaken, and Ooze requires you to consume shard hide corpses. This takes forever as the command button to order the slimes themselves have long cooldowns, upwards of 10 seconds on each use, meaning 100 seconds just to do all of the commands needed. Made even worse if other players are nearby, as they may kill the mobs you're trying to infect. The combination of RNG on RNG for a daily quest can make it a frustrating achievement to complete. Although luckily in 9.2 it is being reduced to 3 for each, meaning even at this point I'm sure most of you will have completed these achievements already, and while it was annoying, it is being fixed, so that's why it barely makes it on this list. Without this change, it would have easily been the #1 spot on this list, as it would have taken people months to even years to complete it. And at number 6, we have the achievement, and the Meek shall inherit Kalimdor. This achievement is awarded upon completing several different amusing tasks while on dailies in Mount Hyjal. Added in patch 4.2, Rage of the Firelands, this series of daily quests have you help out Myloon, the Dryad, and Meadowclaw, the Druid, to save the wildlife of Mount Hyjal from big ol' meaty fire elementals. Each daily quest consists of 1 quest and 2 follow-up quests, and there are 4 of these quest lines in total that can possibly spawn per day. Each quest is a little bit different, but generally each quest has the player rescuing helpless baby animals, such as squirrels, baby bears, birds, and baby turtles. To earn this achievement, you must perform a particular action while on the associated daily quest. For example, some of these requirements include punting turtles at fire elementals, and throwing baby bears at sleeping molten core hounds. What makes this achievement hard to get is that each part of the achievement can only be completed while the player is on that particular daily quest. Additionally, the NPC who gives these quests, Myloon, does not spawn every day. On top of this, there is only a 1 out of 5 chance that a specific quest will be there when she spawns herself. For even further frustration, some of these daily quests themselves can be somewhat tedious, such as rounding up birds with a whistle on the quest called The Flock, in which the whistle has both a long cooldown and a short radius. Anyone who's done the daily quest, those bears up there, will remember trying to climb up a janky tree with up and down arrows. These factors compile to make the achievement even more of a chore to complete. As a side note, it is possible to get another related achievement, Infernal Ambassadors, which requires the player to kill all 5 bosses at the end of each of the 5 daily quest chains without getting hit by their abilities. Both of these achievements are required for the meta achievement Veteran of the Molten Front, which rewards the Flamebreaker title. And at number 5, we have Armed for Action. This achievement requires the player to have completed a series of 5 daily quests from the island of Megagon, which was added in BFA. The name of this daily is Toys for Destruction and can be obtained from a random NPC visitor on the island, Rocket Chief Fuselage. Each of these 5 daily quests has the player collect several mechanical parts from around the island in order to make unique weapons, which can be used via the extra action button, and most are simple extra DPS abilities. The quests themselves aren't too bad to accomplish, and some of the weapons are a lot of fun to use. The main problem with this achievement, and why it's at the number 5 spot, is pure RNG, as there is only a chance that Fuselage will spawn each day, but even then, the chance of getting each individual quest and weapon is only 1 out of 5. At least with the Trog and Pebbles, it was the same quest each time it spawned. This one just adds an extra layer of RNG on top of RNG. The achievement is required for the meta achievement Mecha Done, which awards the mount the Mecha Cycle Module W. So you'd most likely naturally get it by doing all the other achievements. But if you're unlucky, this one might set you back a bit on it. And at number 4, we have the achievement Just Another Day in Tul Barad, which is awarded upon completing all the dailies offered in Tul Barad. Tul Barad was added in Cataclysm, consists of 2 islands, an open world island zone to the north, and another island which has a battleground to the south. The Tul Barad Battleground Island acts as a timed open world battleground, much like Wintergrass, with whichever faction controls it gets access to a small raid and extra dailies. The reason this achievement makes it on this list is because there's a cap of 12 dailies a day that could be found in the North Island Zone, there is a soft cap of 6 in the South Island Battleground, and in total there are 33 quests needed for the achievement. This achievement is per character, meaning that you may have to wait months if you just want to do a single specific quest. To make matters worse, 15 of those daily quests can only be completed if the player's faction controls the battleground, which means that players have to win the Tul Barad Battleground first, mainly by just standing around since the content is 12 years old and there's usually no other players there. However, if a group of players from the opposite faction wants to do content there, you're out of luck because there's usually no one around from your own faction to help you, made even worse by the fact that if you're facing someone 1v1 to take over Tul Barad, it is literally impossible for the attacker to win if they're not extremely well geared. Additionally, once the player's faction has control over the battleground, there is only a 1 out of 4 chance that 3 of those required quests mentioned earlier will become available. With each win in the battleground, the quest resets to 1 of 4 groups of dailies, where each set takes you to one of the 4 underground prison blocks. This means you can technically do more than 12 of those dailies a day, but you have to wait around for 5 to 6 hours or so till Barad, just for a possible chance to get all those 12 daily quests in the battleground itself. And at number 3, we have the achievement Champion of Chi-Ji. This achievement is obtained by completing the daily quest, Challenge at the Temple of the Red Crane, and its daily follow-ups 15 times on a single character. Added in Mists of Pandaria, this daily quest is one of 4 options, as each day it would choose one of the 4 Celestials to send you to assist. And for this achievement, we need the Red Crane. These quests are given by Sage Whiteheart for Alliance and Sage Lotus Blossom for Horde, both located in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. The players must then go from the Vale of Eternal Blossoms halfway across the continent of Pandaria to the Krasarang Wilds and the isle named Cradle of Chi-Ji. And there, the players will find 3 daily quests that must be completed before you can perform the 4th daily. These quests are easy, but can be a bit slow due to how far spaced out the mobs and quest items are. One of these daily quests is collecting 10 feathers on the ground across the island, another one is just defeating 10 students that roam the island, and the final one is touching 3 spirits of the crane that run around the island. And only after these quests are completed can players do the 4th and final daily, which is a simple fight between the player and one of the several NPCs, usually students and followers of the Red Crane. As mentioned earlier, the player must defeat 15 of these NPCs to get all the requirements for the achievement. What makes this achievement so annoying and tedious is that it requires the player to do dailies 15 times. However, the daily quest that starts this series of dailies only has a 1 out of 4 chance of spawning each day. That puts the quest at an average of 60 days to complete, as it takes 15 days, but a 1 in 4 chance of spawning each day. Additionally, the achievement actually has no tracking mechanism, meaning you don't know how many more times you have to do the daily to get the achievement. The daily questline story is unique in the fact that all the NPCs you defeat in the final quest for the day will send you a letter in the mail, with a bit of information and backstory about that NPC. And at number 2, we have the achievement Outside Influences. This achievement can be completed by doing all the daily quests on the island of Mechagon. In total, there are 32 required quests under the achievement criteria, and most of these quests spawn randomly every day. The real problem with this quest is, once again, pesky RNG. Each day, there are 2 out of 15 random visitor NPCs present in Rustbolt which hand out these dailies. Some of these daily quests can only be done while on other daily quests, and some have branching follow-up quests, meaning you can only do some dailies at the expense of other ones, which makes it even more of a headache to get all of them. To make things even worse, some of these daily quests can only be done on repeat runs of the same daily quests, like 6 of the Sir Finley Murgotron's archaeology quests that start from the same daily, Clues Abound. And some of these are Inception level dailies because they're dailies within a daily, like Strange Discovery. Blizz said they liked RNG in daily quests, so they added some RNG in the RNG so you can RNG while RNGing. Blizzard even changed some of the RNG in the dailies in Mechagon in 9.1.5 to the better for the players, but unfortunately this achievement was not among them. And at number 1, we have the achievement, Have We Met? This achievement comes from the daily quest The Protectors of Hyjal, and can be obtained from Captain Soren Moonfall, a Night Elf warrior at the Sanctuary of Malorn. This daily requires you to have already done a few fair daily quests for the faction itself before it becomes unlocked. For this daily itself, players must kill several fire elementals that are accompanied by 4 NPCs, which are decided randomly per person per day. 3 of these NPCs are druids, and the last NPC is usually a famous and loved character among the player base, such as King Murgle, Johnny Awesome, and Maximilian of Northshire. To earn the achievement, players must emote/wave at 6 specific NPCs: Lincoln, Nat Pagel, Mancrick, Hemet Nessingwary, Chromie, and Thessarian. However, there are almost 40 NPCs that can spawn in total. To make matters worse, they only spawn once a day, meaning even if you abandon and reacquire the quest, it will still be the same NPC. Additionally, only Thessarian will spawn for Alliance players, and Mancrick will only spawn for Horde players, meaning you need to find someone from the opposing faction who also has the NPC you need on that particular day. Finally, you must only be within a specific subzone of Mount Hyjal, Cetharia's Roost, to acquire the NPCs, meaning even just to check what NPCs you have for the day requires a bit of flying. And while back in Cataclysm, when literally everyone was doing these dailies every day, it was only a minor pain to try and find them all, these days it's nearly impossible to find another living soul there. To this day, there are still people who have been finding their way to the Molten Front and checking what 4 random followers they have every day since 2011. Alright, and that's the list. Are there any more annoying daily quest achievements that we may have missed? Have any ideas for future videos just like this one? If so, I'd love to hear about both of those things down in the comments.